up, say.
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid our bills. And I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago with no deals.
Welcome to the Matt Contreras Report. Thank you for joining us. Today we have a very special guest. This is an old friend of mine. This is Daycee Oswalt. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah, so if you've ever been really anywhere in the past 5 years at least, out to an event, local things like farmers markets, all kinds of stuff you've done. I mean, I see you all over the place. Yeah. Daycee's a very talented musician, singer, songwriter, which I'm most impressed. I mean, I'm impressed by all of it, but your songwriting is so good. You guys are going to get to hear 2 original songs. One of them is it's amazing, and it's a Father's Day song. We'll talk about the story with that here in a bit. The Matt Contreras Report is brought to you by Financial Integrated Solutions. Jessica Mossman, former resident of San Angelo, Texas, is offering free complimentary consultations by mentioning you heard about this ad on the Matt Contreras Report podcast. Jessica and her team have been named Best Financial Firm in Austin 6 years in a row. She serves clients all over Texas and the country. Check out txfinancialsolutions.com to schedule and learn more. But first, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you were born and raised, kind of your story and stuff.
So I'm born and bred, San Angelo. Yes, I went to Central. I started playing guitar when I was 15, and I self-taught myself. So
I didn't know that either. Wow.
I actually started with the ukulele, which is interesting.
Just a little more.
Yeah, I started with the ukulele. Funny story, my dad ordered a ukulele for himself because he was raised in Hawaii. So he wanted, I guess, to get in touch with his roots. And I stole the ukulele and I learned it way better than him. And
How'd you learn it?
YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
YouTube and a lot of practice.
And then you started playing guitar? And
yes.
Same thing, YouTube?
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty much.
You just started with some learning a few chords and then
it mostly started with I had some friends that played guitar and I had them teach me a little bit.
Yeah.
And the first song I learned was Blackbird by the Beatles.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Blackbird singing in the dead of
the
night. That one. And so that just started my love for it. I went home and I would just trap myself in my room, watch a bunch of YouTube videos, and that's how I started.
Yeah, that's how I got. My dad taught me some chords when I was young, and I had an electric guitar, and I would play, and then I switched to an acoustic, and I really loved acoustic. And it wasn't until I was probably 30 that I really started picking it back up, and that's how I learned, was just YouTube and self-taught, and I started getting pretty good because I was always a singer. I was in choir. And so putting the guitar to the singing for me was very natural, and I needed an instrument with my voice.
Yeah.
But to me, your voice is so unique and so beautiful.
Thanks.
Is that something you've always done, singing, or did that come after the guitar? Or was
well,
it together?
Actually, I was in choir.
Oh, nice.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Yeah.
I had a great choir teacher.
Who?
Her name was Mrs.
Wetzel?
Wetzel.
Yes!
Yes,
Oh my God,
Mrs.
Wetzel was
She was
You had Mrs.
Amazing. Yes.
I love
Mrs. Wetzel. Shout out to you.
Oh my God.
You were amazing.
Is she not incredible?
She is incredible. And I was in the Rebel Rage. Were you in the Rebel
Yeah.
Rage? Oh my
Rebel
gosh.
Rage went hard.
They went hard.
Right?
The dance moves and the singing.
It went so hard.
Yes.
Did y'all do the magical dinner?
Yes.
I was the king with the magical
You
dinner.
were?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
That's
I
funny.
love Rebel Rage.
Yes,
Oh,
I loved it too. It was the start of all that music and everything.
I love that you did that.
I love that you did it.
I know.
There weren't enough boys when I was in it, so I had to sing tenor.
Did you really? So do you have a pretty good range? Would you say?
Yeah, I would say I could range from tenor to first soprano,
Yeah.
so depending on the day.
Yeah.
My low voice is really good some
Is
days,
it?
and then
Yeah.
some days I'm like, it's not hitting me.
Yeah. I know how that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool that you were in choir. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, while you were in choir in high school, or you weren't in high school, right? Just junior high?
Yeah, just
Okay,
junior
yeah.
high.
But you were playing the guitar all the while too, right? And
Yeah,
teaching
when I
yourself.
went to the freshman Central Campus, that's when I wasn't in choir anymore. I was in theater, and in our theater class, we would just kind of like hang out in the theater room and mess around. And that's when a couple friends, they brought their guitars up there,
nice.
and they would be playing during theater class. And that's how I was like, teach me a song.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I made one of my friends, Dodie and Luke.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. They
Nice.
taught me, my first song, and I was obsessed after that.
You were?
Yes.
So, whenever we met, must have been like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
12 years
I think
ago.
I was 15, 16 when we met. I was.
You were not.
I
that
was.
young.
I was.
I didn't even realize that.
I was the host. They wouldn't even let me wait
Your
tables
sister.
yet.
What is your sister's name again?
Destin.
Destin. So Destin was the one that was like early 20s. She
Yes,
was like 20
yeah.
and 21.
Mhm.
How old? How many years apart are y'all?
We are about 5 years apart.
Okay, yeah. I knew you were young, but I didn't realize you were that young at the time. But now it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, man, that's crazy. And so, what do you remember about those days? Whenever we
The Mesquite Bean
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember you were always so positive, and you
Oh,
were great to
cool.
work with.
Yeah.
Sarah and Donnie, they were awesome.
They were, yeah.
They would let me come in and work the cash register, and
Yeah.
I would bus tables, and I was the dishwasher, so I had to take the
Yeah.
dishes upstairs,
Yeah.
and then
You
when
worked your butt off.
I worked
remember that.
until
You
I was
did.
16. I was like, I want to wait tables, and they let me.
Oh yeah. I
Finally.
bet you were good, huh?
Yeah, I had 2 older sisters that were waiting tables, so I saw
Did you do
from
that for a
them.
while?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
did. I actually waited tables for maybe 6-7 years.
Whoa.
After I had my first daughter, Stella,
Cool.
I waited tables.
Where at?
I worked at the Silo House.
Nice.
Which
Yeah,
was a
chicken.
really nice, 5-course meal restaurant. And I worked there.
Did you make pretty good money there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did pretty good. It was nice because, we would have reservations. So
Oh yeah.
it was,
Mm-hmm.
you knew what you were getting that night.
Yeah,
and
that's
you had
cool.
reservations.
That's
and
one of the nicer restaurants in town, honestly.
yeah,
It's
it
good.
is. They are.
That's
really
cool.
good.
I did that too. What I love about waiting tables is that it's a skill that once you know it and you have that skill,
Mm-hmm.
if you get in a bind or something and you can't find work, it's something that you can do immediately and get cash in your
Yes.
pocket really quick.
Yes.
But not only that, like I have this friend of mine, he was a client for years.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Conley, and he has a son who is 20, 21. He's in college. And he said, man, I really want to get my son, little Conley, involved. I want him to start waiting tables. And I said, how
Yeah.
come? He said, it's just such a good skill to have, not only because the
is.
fast cash, but being social and interacting with people,
Yeah.
especially on a level to where-
Multitasking.
Yes, right,
That is
multitasking.
really one
Yeah.
of the things.
So to
Multitasking.
me, that's a really cool skill to have. I think
Yeah.
I really respect that and I like that because I've gone back and forth, back into waiting tables. Like when I was running
Yeah.
my gym, toward the end when I was trying to keep the doors open, I was doing that for supplemental income.
Yeah.
And I've always been very grateful for that.
Yeah.
So it's a cool job. I like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever bartend?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I never
yeah.
bartended. I think I just never got to that point. But
Same here, honestly.
But yeah, it was really great.
Yeah.
When my daughter was young and I needed the little extra money, I was
Exactly.
staying at home with her during the day.
Yeah.
And it was great to have social interaction
Oh, that's
too.
true.
You're
Yeah.
sitting with the baby all day and then you get to go out and talk to grown
For
ups.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. Really
Yeah.
nice.
So, did you go to college?
I went to cosmetology school,
Nice.
so I don't use that anymore. I don't have my license.
Do you think you ever will use it?
I've considered maybe doing that
Yeah.
when my kids go back to school,
Uh-huh.
but when all of them get into school.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know you did that. How long did you do hair for after you graduated?
I didn't do hair. I actually did facials
Oh,
and
cool.
massage
And that's
therapy a little bit.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
I kind of got into massage
Yeah.
and facials.
Okay.
I really loved doing that. I worked at a J. Blair, and I had a really great mentor, and I enjoyed doing that. But then I got pregnant with my daughter and decided I wanted to stay home. And after that, I just stayed home with my kids.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then you got married, you said, before we started rolling, you said it was in 2019, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you and your husband meet?
We actually met waiting tables. Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
We were working at Logan's Roadhouse.
Okay,
Rip Logan's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, we met working there. I was 17, going on 18, and he was at ASU, and we were friends for a long time. And I kind of friend zoned him a little bit, and then, you know, he asked me on a date.
How did you get out of the friend zone?
We went on a date, and after that date, I was kind of still unsure, and then, I don't know, we just like rekindled after.
What happened? There had to be something though that got him out of the friend that you were like, okay, let's.
I don't know. What was it that got him out of
the?
Yeah, he was just persistent.
Okay.
And he still is to this day persistent with me.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, that's
he didn't give up. So, and he was just goofy and easy to be with, and yeah.
So did y'all fall in love pretty fast, or was it something that took a while?
I would say like he fell in love with me fast, and for me it took me a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But once I realized that I loved him, I was like all in.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we got engaged, and then we got pregnant with our daughter, and she was 2 years old when we got married.
Ooh,
so I really just wanted to make sure, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
And we lived together for a while, so I just wanted to be extra sure.
I like
because
that.
my mom had been through divorce, and you know, she's like, just live with them for at least a year or two, then you will really know them.
It's true.
You have to live with someone.
You don't really know someone until you live with. That's true.
You don't.
It is, yeah.
And sometimes it takes a year or two for them to
That's
really show
so
their true
true.
colors.
No, it is.
The first year is people, you know, trying to be their best.
Foot forward,
and then you see the true person, and he always, you know, just proved me wrong.
Yeah?
I told him that just last night. You always prove me wrong.
Wow.
You always proved me wrong.
You know, something that happened to me was when I moved in with the mother of my child, when we moved in together, I said, and she's a great person. She was always really laid back and very easy to get along with. Like you're saying, it was very easy. But when we moved in together, I said, hey, I've been in a marriage before. I've been divorced. I know she had also. And I said, I know how things work. I said, what's important, I feel like, is that we establish some expectations right up front, as far as like cleaning the house and chores and who does what. You know, I can do the trash and this and that, and you do the dishes or whatever and cook. And she said, no, she said, we don't need to do that. She said, I've always cleaned on Sundays. I'll just take care of all that. And I said, hold on. I said, I don't know if that's a good idea. I just feel like if I don't have a chore that's assigned to me, I don't want you resenting me for it later, you know? And so she just persisted though and said, no, it's fine. Yeah. All right. And so I still pulled my weight and everything, but you know, sure enough down the line, it didn't work out so well because of that. Not her fault at all, but I'm just saying. Yeah. So you really don't know someone until you live with them for a while. Like that. Did y'all have expectations lined out like that, or how did that work out?
No, not really. I mean, he was very tidy and clean.
Oh, that's good.
When we moved in together, so I liked that about him.
Yeah.
And you know, when we had our daughter and I was staying home, I was doing most of the chores and cleaning up before he got home. But
for sure. That's cool.
He has his own chores now, and I have mine. He likes to take care of the yard. He's very particular about his yard. Yeah. And he helps a lot. Yeah. Now that we have 3 kids, he definitely gets in there and he does the dishes. He'll help with the laundry.
Sure. Yeah. We were just talking about this, you know, I asked you, I said, what's it like is it hard having 3, like juggling 3? How hard is that?
Yes.
What's the hardest thing about that?
Well, the fact that I had my 2 youngest ones so close together, that was pretty hard because one is 3 and one is 1, and the 1-year-old's walking now, so all over the place. Like We went into Tarpley's earlier, and I had to take all 3 of them in because they were fixing my ukulele for me.
Yeah.
And they were all over that store. I was like, I'm going to have to pay for a broken guitar. But the nice lady that works there, like, helped me contain them. They were just wild. And then after that, I went to the grocery store with them, and
that's an adventure.
Oh yeah, I had at least 3 people say, "You've got your hands full."
Yeah.
It's like, if I had $1 every time I heard that, I would have a lot of dollars.
Yeah. So that same guy, a friend of mine, Conley, he said, when you have a kid, things get hard. Things change completely. But he said, when you have 2 kids, you would think it's 1 + 1 = 2, but he said it's not. He said it's 1 + 1 = 10. It's like 10 times exponentially harder whenever you have. So 3 is even worse. I mean, I can only imagine, just because, especially when they're young like that, and you don't have an older one to take care of the younger ones, to watch them. Like, you're always probably doing something, right?
Yeah, I mean, my 7-year-old Stella, she's very helpful.
Oh, she's 7. Okay,
so
well,
she's helpful, and she steps in when I ask her, and she does a lot for me.
Yeah.
But it's hard. The transition, I think, from 1 to 2 is harder than the transition from 2 to 3.
I was just going to say that,
And I say this to everybody, like, God knew I needed a 3rd kid, because with 2 of them, I could still control things, and I could still have my schedules. But when I had that 3rd, I just had to let everything go. I had to just let it go, and it's a beautiful thing. For sure. It is.
Yeah.
But
I've always thought it would be amazing to have a huge family like that. Back in, like, my grandmother's generation, like, they had 8 to 10 kids sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so different now. But that was really interesting that they used to do that. But to talk a little bit more about your music, back on that. So I just, like I said, I'm very impressed with your songwriting. And I think that's something that not everyone can do, obviously. I mean, it's pretty common for people to play the guitar and to have a good voice. But to put all 3 together, to play an instrument, to sing beautifully, and to write, is just something unique. And so tell us a little bit about your process when it comes to writing a song. How do you start? Do you start with chords or lyrics, or how do you do it?
It just depends. Sometimes I start with lyrics, and then I layer the guitar over it. I will just, a lot of the times record a voice memo in my phone, and then later on I'll go and I'll try and write the guitar to it. And sometimes I will write the guitar first. That first song I played, I wrote the guitar first. Actually, I just strummed a few chords, and then the words just kind of fell out of me. Yeah. It was.
You said that song, the words, it all just fell out of you.
Yeah, it was. I was having a hard week, and I just sat down at the couch, and I started playing these chords, and I started singing that first line. If I wake up in the morning and you make me a cup of coffee, it just fell out.
Really?
Yeah, it was
so
crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
But it came out like that, like the
melody. And my favorite.
Not just the words, but you were singing that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just sang it, and I don't know, it really just came together so crazy that way.
Yeah.
They're not all like that, though.
I can. Yeah.
Some take years for me to finish. Some come together really fast. The second song that I played, that one took more time. I started off with the chorus, and I really had the chorus for a long time, and up until recently is when I wrote the verses.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That one still had to be worked more, and that you played with. So the harmonica, is that something that you learned early on too, or is that something recent?
No, actually, when COVID happened, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I picked up the harmonica, and I got really obsessed with Bob Dylan and Neil Young and all those harmonica players, and I started to just learn their songs, and I loved it so much.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Is it hard to learn the harmonica? Is that comparatively, you know?
I don't know. If you can sing and play at the same time, I think that you can figure out how to play harmonica and play at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a little bit difficult, but some songs are harder than others.
Yeah.
I remember I would put my harmonica on and I'd be washing the dishes and I'd be playing the harmonica.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
So that I could have my hands busy and practice.
That's smart, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's like multitasking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So you know, when I've seen you, you're always solo. Have you ever had, but you said you had a band, right?
Yes,
So tell us about that.
I kind of have a band. They're called Daycee and the Dudettes.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I think it was a few years ago. One of my best friends from high school, her mom actually, came to one of my gigs one day and was like, "Hey, I'm learning the drums. Would you come and practice with me so I can play with the guitar player?" And I said, "Yeah." And we went up to Emmanuel School of Fine Arts, and Jimmy was teaching her drums, and we started playing together, and I don't know what happened, but we were like, let's just start playing together.
Yeah.
And she started coming to my gigs and playing with me.
Really?
And we were just kind of a duo for a while. And I had a friend named Tabitha that I was like, please learn the bass. Please learn the bass for me.
Cool.
And
was she musically inclined already? I mean,
yes.
Okay.
She had been in a band called, what are they called? They were called, I can't remember.
They were local, though?
Yes, they were a local Christian band called...
It wasn't Behind the Veil, was it? No.
I can't think of the name, but if I do, I will tell you.
For sure, yeah.
But
so did she?
She texted me after Christmas and said, I got a bass for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she started taking lessons, and...
Dang.
I made her just kind of jump in the deep end. I was like, just come on, let's do it. And she was maybe learning for like a little under a year before she started playing with us. And she will harmonize and play, and she is so good, and her voice is so beautiful.
Wow.
And recently my drummer moved to Austin. So she's doing great in Austin.
That's cool.
She plays with a Bengals tribute band.
Nice.
And she's actually been in the studio with a local band doing original stuff for them. So I'm very happy for her, and she's doing great. And me and Tabitha, we still play together a little bit.
That's
she
good.
comes and plays bass with me, and we played at the rodeo together in the wine tent. So
how was that?
It was great.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun. Yeah, she's so good.
Nice. So have you ever thought about moving to Austin or anything like that? I mean, I know it's hard when you have a family and stuff, but is that anything you'd ever want to do? Move anywhere else and pursue something like
really.
that? Okay.
No.
That's cool. Yeah.
I would love to travel around Texas and play, but as far as like going out of state and stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
My kids are so young, and being their mom is like a top priority right now because they're so little. Maybe one day in the future, but
I like that.
Not right now.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. So do you, as far as like gigs go and stuff, like, when I've seen you out, like, do you schedule things? Do people contact you? I mean, do you have anything upcoming?
Yeah, I have a pretty good base of people that I know, and they'll usually contact me. Lisa contacted me for the Waterford's 30th anniversary.
Wasn't that nice?
That was
so elegant.
Cool.
Yeah,
yes.
It was incredible. Yeah.
And other people will contact me for their wedding or to play at their anniversary party, or I play around at some of the places, but I have just good contacts now.
That's good.
And I've built that up over time, and it wasn't always so easy, but now I'm at a place where I have a good base of people that I know, and if I wanted to work more, I could. I can pretty much work as much as I want to, which is nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I maybe play 2-3 times a month.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that song. So you wrote this song for your husband for Father's Day, which is so sweet, and it's so good. But tell us about how that all went down. Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to the studio. I texted my friend Sean. Shout out to Sean.
Yeah, by the stream. What's up, guys?
And he said, yeah, come on in. Let's record it. And Dustin was going out of town for a golf tournament. And I was like, okay, we got to do it this weekend. So I went in and, we started doing the song. His wife, Leah, came up to the studio and she helped me figure out harmonies because we were struggling a little bit with the harmonies. And it was really fun. We had a good time.
Yeah. What gave you the idea to do that for him?
Well, I wrote the song and I was like, I want to show him this song.
So when you
It was a month
you didn't
before-
initially write it for him, or you did?
I wrote it. I wrote it for him and about us, but it was like a month before Father's Day that I wrote it. So I guess a month and a half ago I wrote it, and I was like, oh, this would be a great Father's Day gift,
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a song? It's gonna last forever.
Good. That's right.
And so I was like, I'm gonna go record this, and I'm gonna give it to him as a gift.
How'd you present it to him?
Well, I made him breakfast that morning, and, I made him his cup of coffee, and he came in, and I said, are you ready for your gift? And he was like, okay, yeah. And I turned on the speaker, and he's like, what's going on? And I started to play the song, and he sat and listened, and by the time the song was over, he was crying.
Dang.
Sorry, babe.
Oh, how could you not? Oh, man. Wait till you guys hear this. Yeah, that's really cool. Were you crying too?
No, I mean, I cried when I wrote it, but I was like, I listened to it a million times.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but
cool.
that was my goal. I was like, he better cry.
Yeah.
Cry. And
he better cry. Yeah. So, do you plan on, do you have any goals of writing more songs and producing them, do more studio time?
Sean said, let's do some more.
Cool.
So I'm thinking I will. I would love to.
Putting together an album, maybe
Yeah, I would love to. I definitely have enough to put an album together. But
nice.
it's a lot of work, and
I can imagine.
It's out of my ball game a little bit because I don't have experience in the studio, but Sean does. So I'll make him do all the work.
And so you're going to hear two songs. The one that was written for your husband on Father's Day, what's that one called again?
Cup of Coffee.
Cup of Coffee. And then the second song that was more of a work in progress with the harmonica is called...
It doesn't have a name yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It doesn't have a name. Wow.
I need to figure it out.
So when you hear this song, guys, the one with the harmonica, if you will help Daycee figure out a name for this song, comment for us. And tell us what a good name would be. That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this. This was
fantastic.
fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So Daycee's only the second person in the new studio, and it was really exciting because we have sort of a vision to have more artists, and it's really cool to see, just to experience and see you playing live in the studio that we created. It's just really neat. And so lastly, I always ask, what are 3 things that you're grateful for right now in your life?
My husband,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Grateful for my community.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah,
I like
have
that.
a great community of people to help me with my kids and encourage me in my music endeavors. Because you really need support to be an artist.
That's right.
You do. And
That's right.
my kids, I love my kids. They keep me going.
Cool. And then lastly, what's something that made you genuinely smile or laugh in the last week or so? One of those moments where it's just like, man, I needed that.
My daughter, Scarlett.
Yeah.
Just watching her walk. With
She's
her
only one?
She's 15 months. She's been walking for a while. She's a little stinker, and she's got these bow legs and this big belly, and just watching her walk, it brings everybody joy.
That's cool.
Anybody that watches her walk is just cracking up.
Yeah, that's cool. Very nice. All right, guys. Well, that's it. This has been the McIntyre Report, and this was our guest, Daycee Oswalt. Thank you so much again for coming in.
Thanks
this
for
is awesome.
having me.
Of course. You guys are in for a really cool treat. All right, here we go. 2 songs coming at you right now. We'll see you later.
Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Holscher Ranch Group has you covered. With a dedicated team and a passion for Texas land, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Visit HolscherRanchGroup.com or call 325-899-1403 to get started. Holscher Ranch Group, making land ownership dreams come true 1 acre at a time.
Great job.
Hey. Excellent.
Fix my hair. Things were easy when we were young. Things were brighter under the sun. Feeling closer to 50 than 21. Lovely you remain.
of my face, feeling closer to 60 than 33. Darling, can't you see your love's got a grip on me? Darling, I don't want nobody else. Tell you that I love you, but can you tell? Put my love up high up on a shelf. Darling, I don't want nobody else. Will you love me and preserve me well? Or will you let me collect dust on a shelf? Remember the one who loves you well. 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 Darling, I don't want nobody else. Tell you that I love you, but can you tell? Put my love up high up on a shelf. Darling, I don't want nobody else.
Oh, it's so good.
Like that
Woo!
one?
Yeah. God, that's so good. Incredible.
I didn't
job.
expect to pull that one out,
God,
but
that's a good song. Did you write
do you like
that too?
Yes.
Could I? Wow, those are both incredible songs, written by Daycee Oswalt herself. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Matt Cotrier Report. We will see you next time for a little more podcasts, and take care.